So there we go. We've refreshed just in case. And it was shielding in for this absolutely 50, 40, 40, 40, 90. Oh my good God. He's... Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, you just saw that. That was insane. And it was honestly not very difficult to get done. It just takes a little bit of getting used to this champion. I could not be more pumped up to rank him up. I was excited for him just to even come into the game. Then we read his abilities, and I think I was with all of us when we were like, this guy seems absolutely amazing. Let's see those numbers. The numbers are amazing. Then it's like, how does he flow together? And I will tell you that I think it does take a little bit of getting used to. He really reminds me, and bear with me on this, he really reminds me of Cosmic Ghost Rider in that if you understand his system, you don't need to have a set rotation. In fact, it's very much about the fight you're taking, the defender you're taking, and then how are you going to manipulate that fight and control that fight. I'm still in an early stage of getting used to playing him, but we're going to take a look at two fights, and we're going to take a look at them from two different standpoints. One where we're showing a tremendous amount of his utility with his slow debuff and then the ability to go unblockable. And then we're going to take another one with the cleanse that he can put on himself and how well that works out with Biohazard. And then we're going to look at playing him in two separate styles. One building to the SP3, going for that massive SP2 that you saw there. Honestly, it's pretty realistic. I always thought like, yeah, that's cool for YouTube, but you guys will see, watch. And then the other style of like, let's just keep refreshing that SP2. And I think this is where he gets some of those comparisons to Guardian. I'm pumped up to have this guy ranked up to rank 3. Let's jump into this gameplay. All right, so this is gonna be our first fight. We're going against this Footloose Medusa. This is an Act 6, 6.4. It's with the Thor Rag boss. And the first time I approached it, I really wanted to be concentrating on the slow debuff, right? And we'll go over the terms and things like that a little bit. This is intended to be a bit of an intro on how to play and some rotation stuff. And then, of course, because she has the auto block function, I wanted to work on the going unblockable and lining that up with the SP2 because we don't want the SP2 to get blocked, right? That would be horrible. That's the big source of his damage. So in this fight, I'm going to be throwing the SP2 a lot. I'm going to be refreshing my Wushu Strikes to keep those back up again and refreshing the SP2. And you're going to see, I think this is a really good way of playing this. The perfectly timed block and the evade, getting the cheese strikes, it does take some getting used to. It's one of those things where like, it kind of reminds me of when you first started taking the old champion boss. When you got it, you knew you had got it, but there's gonna be a lot of times where you thought like, I know I got that evade, and the game doesn't give it to you. So anyways, we're going through on this, right? And if you're not familiar with it, the medium hit is the disarming strike, and you'll see that that will land the slow. We have that on there. And you can get multiple of those up. That's a unique thing. You kind of get used to that going to. And then you're gonna see me landing, and I am looking to see if it's called the breaking strike, and that is the medium, light, medium. You see, we did not ramp up him at all, really. That was just natural playing. And the SP2 does some nice damage. I kind of think this is how you're probably going to see him played a lot, unless you need those really big numbers. So, because it works out and it happens to go really well with the flow of the fight. Let's see what I decided to do here, because this did take a little bit of playing with and kind of getting used to it. There we go. So I've now landed the slow, so I don't need to worry about her evade here. So you're gonna see that working out. Hopefully I'll go in and throw the unblockable. There we go. So, I already was unblockable, and so we're landing that now. We threw the SP2, making sure that that lined up well. Remember we talked about wanting to make sure that she would not auto block our SP2. Let's see here. So I've now hit the heavy. I think thought I was refreshing the Wushu Strikes, but they're refreshed anyways. It is what it is. The SP2 kind of takes care of that for you. But now we've landed the unblockable. That way, if she gets to her living strands, there we go. She can't block it. We've stunned her, which is the medium, light, medium. And then I should land the unblockable here. Or maybe oh no, I can't. I'm going to wait out her living strands. There we go. And this SP2 is going to end that fight. So that really didn't take that much time. 68 hits. Remember, this is Act 6.4, so this is tough. And I wanted to test out, what I was really looking to test out there was, not only are we looking at the her evade and needing to place the slow, but how well are we able to also keep up the unblockable when we needed to do that? I was like, I wanted to stress test this. in that how many pieces of his utility could you utilize in one fight? And this is really the first time I'm playing with him, and I was able to get it done. So it's just going to get better from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at him against Biohazard now. This is going to be Act 7.1. This is a Biohazard lane against a Ronin. You can see these are beefy opponents. This is almost 400,000 health. And we're going to want to get that cleansing strike on. So we're going to go medium, light, medium. And you see we now have the 4 cleanses there, the green in the upper left hand. If we had suicides on, those would have fallen off now. I did do the unblockable, so I'm kind of working on some rotational things here. Landed that stun. And now I need to reset though, because I've used all my cleanses. So I should, if I do this right, medium, light, medium, there we go. I've got my cleanses back up, and it's really going to be about that rotation. You saw the poison come up there real quick because I hit into his block while I was getting unblockable, and the cleanse takes care of it instantly. I mean, this is awesome. This is the cleanse of Jabari Panther, but like significantly better. I mean, I can think of all the applications of this, of encroaching stun, or when you get a power sting on you. Like, it's just, I'm so excited to dive more and more into this guy, but you know, we're going to show you some things here too. So we've gone unblockable, the heavy to reset our Wushu Strikes. You can see we got the Chi counter there too. In playing him and on these fights anyway, I found like I'm just going to let the Chi Strikes kind of build up on their own. This isn't like Stark Spidey, where I really felt like I had to get all these evades going to, you know, get his I can't remember the term, but basically the prowess and things like that going. This was more like, I'm just going to play this champion through parrying and through evading. The Chi Strikes are going to build, and he has plenty of damage. It doesn't matter. I love the flow on this champion. If you're not familiar with me or my channel, for me, that's just how well he fits together. That's how well all the abilities that we read fit together, and how easily accessible are they. And with him, it feels like when you need it, they are there and they're easily accessed. Like you saw right there, I refreshed my cleansing strike, got rid of the debuff, went unblockable because, hey, why not? Now I've stunned. This SB2, it would have been a lot cooler if it ended the fight. It didn't quite, but it got into 1%. Both these fights going the SB2 route, refreshing the Wushu Strikes with the heavy or the SB2, they felt really smooth. In fact, if anything, I was probably doubling up on the refreshes, kind of forgetting that the SB2 will help you out with those things. It's called readying them, just in case. I'm calling it refresh, but it's called readying them. But then I thought, you know what? What if we really build up those Chi Strikes? And the way to do that would be to kind of sit on the SB3 for a while, go ahead and throw it, and then just go in for those big finishes. Is that potentially faster? Or are there fights where you might want to do that, right? Like if you're an experienced Guardian player, you know that sometimes you really need that big burst. And the burst is big enough where it's worthwhile to play that way. So I thought, let's jump right into those exact same fights. I want to stress test this. I want to see, can we keep the cleansing strike up to make sure we are not getting damage from a node like Biohazard? And can we also take out that Medusa? We're potentially having to worry about auto block, and we're also having to worry about her going unstoppable and evading while going all the way to the SB3. So let's check those out. I think you're going to be pretty surprised with how it went. I know I thought they were going to go, but let's check this out. So it was easier just to go back into the Ronin first. So we went into Ronin, again, still starting off with the cleansing strike. You can see the 4 passes in the upper left-hand corner. I did go into the block, and I kind of did enjoy this rotation. I did borrow that from Karate Mike, where you can get the stun off, and then you can find a way to get in some of your other Wushu Strikes there while the stun is there, because it is a pretty lengthy stun. Or if you're not familiar, it depends on the order in which you throw your Wushu Strikes. It's the exact opposite of regular Ghost Rider, where with Shang-Chi, the earlier you throw the Wushu Strike, the longer they will stay on. And the later you throw it in the order, the less time they'll stay on. It'll start to make sense. Trust me on this one. You start to get this guy the more you start to play him, but play him with intention, right? Like I really had to focus on what I was trying to do to get better. Anyways, as you see, we're at 97% health. We're up to our SP3. We're having absolutely no difficulty keeping the cleanses on. You get 4 of them, for goodness sake. Like you get a substantial amount. So I really think if you're running suicides, this is probably how you're going to want to be doing it. If you're not, I think going the SB2 route as a default will be the way to go. And if you're looking to impress your friends on line chat or on YouTube, you're going to want to go this SB3 route. So you can get all those chi charges really, really ramped up. You see, we're up to 18. I'm actually going to go way farther than I needed to. It was the first time I had really tried this route. And you know, if you saw the clip at the beginning of the video, you know how big this is going to get. So here we are. You know, we've landed the stun, we've landed the slow now. I should be throwing the SP3 any minute here. Maybe I went way too over on the overkill. There we go. So we've now got the SP3. Which will also actually increase our critical damage too. So it's not nothing. You know, you gain 186.96 critical damage rating. So you get something for it, and you gain 4 chi charges as well. So you get something for it. So now we're just going to go in. It's going to be about building to our SP2. Of course, continuing to keep the cleansing strike going and making sure we have those pure. It's not purify. I can't think of what it's called right now. Can't believe I can't think of it. The cleanse, there you go. It's green, it's clean, it's cleanse. So there we go. We've refreshed just in case, and we're shielding in for this absolutely 50, 40, 40, 40, 90. Oh my good God. He's fun. He's awesome. The flow is incredible. Check this out. We're going to go into what I think is an even more difficult fight, because all we had to do in this last one was keep the cleansing strike going and then just refresh with the heavy, right? We could parry, refresh, whatever. Now we're having to deal with a champion who can auto block us. I do think I hit into that once or twice there. And then potentially, you know, we're going to want to keep the slow on so we can stop her, slow her down if we need to. And we're going to need to build all the way up to the SP3 and kind of stay there. Now, I had done the second, so I realized I didn't need to have nearly as many chi strikes as chi charges, I think they're called. I should get that right. Let me look this up while we're doing this. Oh, all right. So, chi charges. Apologize, guys. All right, so we're back into this. Right there, you saw I was able to hit into her. We've got our slow up, which you can keep going. It's not hard to do. Getting more chi charges as we get our parries and the perfectly timed block. And then as we, you know, they don't use the term evade, they use the term dodge. Making sure we've got our unblockable, as we talked about. This is a champion fighting Medusa. We're really going to make sure we've got that unblockable as we go into the SP2. You see there, she did auto block me. If this was war, that could have been a problem, but that's only one mode of the game. Not as big of a deal here. But when we set up for that big SP2, we definitely don't want it to be unblockable. Pretty sure I'll be throwing that SP3 any minute now. He's so satisfying to play. Look at this. All right, now we're going to be going in for the kill. Probably do need to get her to throw her SP2 from what I recall. But again, remember to refresh the breaking strike, which is the medium, light, medium. And that's really what he's about. If you take anything away from this, it's one, this guy is awesome. And two, learn his system, learn his Wushu Strikes and when and how you want to use them. And then keep in mind how you can refresh them. It's very important. All right, so we have our slow on her. So we don't need to worry about her evading. I should land my breaking strike here. I did. So even though she's got her 3 Furies, it does not matter. She stands absolutely no chance. And boom, she is done. She is down. Shang-Chi wins. He absolutely wins. I am so happy I took him immediately to rank 3. I thought about kind of doing like a rank 2, and then doing a rank 3 worthy series video on him. And I started playing, this guy's just too good. I think I have a lot more to learn on him and how to really start mastering this and taking even more complex fights. I'm sure they're out there and we will find them. Let me know what you think though. I'm gonna hold off on using my Awakening Gem just because I might open some other featured crystals when he comes in with Mr. Negative and some other champions. And I see him doing all of this without the Awakening. He's awesome. He's incredible. His flow is off the charts. His abilities are off the charts. He does take some skill to get used to and to utilize really well. But as you see, it is possible in complex fights against complex defenders. I love this guy. I love this champion. So happy he is in the game. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.